Look at how amazing that looks. Hey guys, it's your girl Juliet. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. We'll be potting some plants today, and we'll start off with my first propagation of my Peperomia plant. If you recall, the stem actually comes from my Peperomia plant, Pepper. She's a red edge, but I started propagating her about 2 months ago, and here are her roots looking so beautiful. It's amazing. My soil mixture is comprised of half cactus soil and half potting soil with a little bit of bark. I like to put that in there just to help drain the soil a little bit better. Now a little bit about my Peperomia. It currently lives in a medium lit location by my television there, and it seems to be doing pretty well. In terms of temperature, it's been pretty warm in here. It's I guess in the 20s currently, but it seems to be doing all right. It hasn't gone through a winter yet, so we'll see how it goes. I find that the Peperomia is actually pretty fragile in terms of its stems, so if you're going to place it somewhere, put it where it's low traffic, where no one's going to be brushing into it, because I find that if just a little bit of a brush sometimes knocks off leaves. So I just be careful in that area. Another thing, guys, don't forget to clean off the Peperomia's leaves every now and then, at least once a week, just to make sure that there's no dust collecting on the leaves. It needs to photosynthesize, so when there's dust on the leaves, it doesn't really help with that process, so don't forget to do that. All right, guys? When it comes to watering, I like to wait till my Peperomia is mostly dry before I add water to it. What I'll do is I'll stick my finger as far down as I can just to see if I feel moisture, and if I feel any moisture, I'll leave it alone. But if my finger comes out dry, where the soil is kind of powdery, then in that case I'll water it at that point in time. I often bottom water it, where I put water in a tray and sit the pot in it so that it can the soil can absorb the water through the bottom, and then once in a while I might add a little bit of water on the top just to help it move along a little bit. But I'm liking the bottom watering system or method. It's not bad at all if you have the patience. I added some fertilizer or plant food to my water just to give the Peperomia or my plant a fighting chance, to give it a little bit of a boost as it's just starting out in the soil. And make sure you give it a good stir. Now you might want to just follow the instructions. I like to just eye out my measurements, but it might be a better idea to follow the measurements that are indicated on the box or in the package. Alright guys, so that's it for my Peperomia propagation potting. I'm actually really excited to see how this grows. I pray that the roots catch the soil and are happy where they are. I'll be watering it more often now that it's in soil, just so that it doesn't get a shock from going from the water medium to the soil medium. And as the weeks go by, I'll slowly cut down on the watering, just so that I don't cause any root rot. So we'll see. I'm excited. Next up, I'll be repotting my bird's nest Sansevieria twins, my snake plants, and I'll be moving them into slightly bigger pots. My soil is comprised of mostly cactus soil, as well as a very small amount of regular potting soil, and some bark, some orchid mixture, just to help with drainage yet again. But it's about 90% cactus soil. Now the bark actually comes in huge pieces. I find they're a bit too big. So what I usually do before I pot my plant in the soil is that I break off the pieces of bark into smaller pieces, just so that it's not taking up too much space. As I was removing the old soil from my snake plants, I found that they laid out the soil a bit too high on the snake plant. I think that they should allow for the plant to show a little bit more at the bottom, just to allow for it to maybe open up a little bit more freely, I would say. I don't know. What's your opinion on that? Alright, so a little bit about my snake plants. As you know, the light that it receives, it's about a medium light, and it's located close to my window. I've actually moved one of the twins over to my fake plants desk there, further into my living room area. But they're doing all right. As you know, snake plants are pretty resilient, hard to kill, and they don't they don't require too much light. They tolerate the low light, as a lot of plants do, but they're doing okay. In terms of the watering, I let them dry out completely before I water them, and I like to bottom water them as well. They soak up the water really nicely. But as I said, in terms of the soil, it's mostly cactus soil or cacti soil, and they're fine and happy in that medium. As you've heard, snake plants are pretty easy to take care of. Since I purchased them, they've grown quite a bit. I haven't fertilized them too much. Maybe once or twice I fertilized them, but they're growing very well on their own. And you can fertilize them during the during the summer season. Make sure that you follow the instructions, or just fertilize very lightly. Make sure you dilute the formula. But they're very great plants to have. They look great, and I think they're so pretty. Look at the variegation on them. So that's it for these two. They've been repotted, and they should be good for at least a couple of years. Can't wait to see how big they get as well. Alright guys, that's the end of that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share, and don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any, and stay tuned. I have more coming up, more updates on my plants, and some more DIYs. Have a good day, y'all. Take care.